Hey Virgo, it's Tasha, aka Mama Jim, and this is your March 2016 monthly Tarotscope. I am back, y'all. I had to take a little break off, had to handle some personal issues. I was completely tired, wiped out, was doing too much. So I needed to take a little break, but I am back, and I want to say thank you for sitting and being patient with me because I know I missed my February's, but I am back. Got a new deck, the Housewives Tarot. I like this deck because it gives it to you straight, no chaser. You know, it is the way the pictures, and you'll see the way these cards look. You can't really depict it any other way than the way that it's depicted on the card. I mean, I guess sometimes you could get something a little different, but they're very straight and to the point. They're very cynical. They're very they can be kind of sarcastic too. But I feel like under the energy of the moon that we're under now, um, we should be focusing on what we need to let go of. That's what has been placed on my heart to gear these monthly March readings for. And part of that, it could be because of the full moon that we just had, and we're going into the new moon, but we also going to have an eclipse this month too. Listening to other people, other readers that I've heard, I didn't even think about that we have an eclipse coming too, so some things are being wiped away from us. Whoa, y'all had a card to jump out, the Lovers card. So um I just want to do that. So let's get to it. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of March 2016. We already had the Lovers card to fall out. And before I even start, let's even just get into that real quick because I feel kind of strong with this. I feel like this is going to be revolving or involving a love relationship. Something that probably just needs to go ahead and end. But let's just get into it and see what it is. It is about choices, the Lovers card, because she's looking. They don't even notice. This is the thing that you see about this card that I like. Well, not like, but it gives it a connotation to the Lovers card. She's like madly in love. They're madly in love. I know my camera's crappy, but both of them are looking at each other, and it looked like they drove off of a cliff, and they're headed into the water, but they don't care because they are in love. And so I can see this a lot of ways. I feel like some of you guys may be leaping towards something, but I feel strongly that some of y'all are going to be leaving some things too. So let's look at these cards and see what we got. Virgo. All right, what we have for the heart of the matter, what's going on right now. Yeah. Oh, let's turn it. We have the Eight of Swords. You're feeling trapped. You're feeling definitely bound. Let's take a look at the card. You're feeling trapped. You're feeling very bound. You are just feeling stuck. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to get this camera right. This is a little bit too bright for my liking. Hold on. Bear with me, children. Wait a minute. That's a little better. Okay. So you're feeling stuck, right? But the thing about the Eight of Swords, it's a mental stuck. It's not a physical stuck. Even in this depiction of the card, just like in the traditional Rider-Waite, it shows a woman that she's bound, but she's not bound. I know you may not be able to see it as well. And I promise y'all, I said this in other videos. My nails are clean. It just looks nasty on this camera. Anyway, she has these little, tiny little, it's like twine. Can you see it? It looks like twine that she's wrapped in. She's not wrapped in duct tape. She's not wrapped in any, big thick rope. It looks like just loose twine, and but again, you start to feel like when you're in a situation like this, especially if this is a love relationship, you feel like, there's no need to go to the past or try to get things back to how it was in the past, because the relationship has changed so much over this time that you can never get back what you had before. But you don't want to, you're ambivalent about the future as well. So you don't know what you want to do. You just there right now. Okay, let's go on. Maybe the Lovers card to tell us a little bit more as we go into it. What's conflicting this situation? Because I feel like a lot of y'all want to leave a certain situation. What's conflicting? What's conflicting it? You don't know how. You do not know how. This is a Magician card. It's like you're trying to sell yourself this idea. You're trying to get your whole being on board with what you're trying to do. So it's like you're trapped in your head, but your body's also trapped too. So like I feel like you're doubly trapped. I see this Magician card as, he's selling a dishwasher, yes, but I see him as a used car salesman. No offense to my used car salesman or car salesman out there, but you know that they do hold a certain stereotype. And that stereotype is a person that's going to just come in and just try to tell you whatever, to get that sale. Yeah, I can give you this at 2.9 APR interest rate, knowing good and hell whether they can't. Or yeah, it has a brand new transmission. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? But the part about this card, what I'm seeing is you don't know how to your intent to leave is not strong enough, which it kind of coincides with the Eight of Swords. um Even though it's as a conflict, I feel like as a conflict you just don't know, like, the first step. You don't know what the next step should be, or the first step should be to get you out of this situation. Let's look at what's going on in your subconscious and why this is all happening. I feel the need for 2 cards. Excuse me, people. All right. Some of you have met a new love, or some of you want something new. Like, you want a new beginning. You want things to be back how they were, but in your mind, like I said earlier, you already know that it can't go back to the way it was, because over the years, and this is, I try to make these readings so they can apply to everyone, but every now and then I have some readings that just come out to be so specific that it just doesn't fit a lot of bills. I feel like this is it's targeted to a certain type of Virgo right now, male and female, sun, moon, and rising. But if you want a personal reading, you can check me out. But take from it what you can. Take from it what you can. If you can make it apply to something else in your life, then I could very well see that. But I'm just seeing it right now as a love situation. So anyway, little side note. But you want to get that good thing back. It you with such stagnant energy, you want to be playful and light again. You want to have this energy. You want to just be laughing and having fun like you used to. And it may not have to be with that particular person that you're with right now, but you want to have that with somebody. Okay? Now, um and I feel like a lot of you may feel a little helpless in this situation. Like you have nothing, you're at your wits' end and you don't know the first step about moving forward. But I feel like it's coming for you. It's coming. It's coming. What's going on in the past? What led up to this in the recent past? 2 weeks ago to a month ago, things have been stressful for a while. Even though I said 2 weeks to a month ago, I feel like this has been long. It's been a long time anyway, but it's really gotten to its peak within the last month. Definitely within the last month. So with the strength card here in the past, I feel like y'all been trying to work it out. You've been trying to scrub it clean and, get all the dirt and grime and do what you need to do to get it right. But, it's just like when you're using a little scour pad, you know that you can't scrub too hard because you'll end up rubbing off the total surface, especially if you're using on something that you're not supposed to be using it on. That's the key thing right there. Because I feel like with a lot of these relationships, the relationships that I'm reading for at this moment, these were not relationships that were supposed to last. It's just, for instance, since we are using the Housewives Tarot, let me put it in context for you people, especially for those of you who cook. Everybody knows if you have a pan with a black coating, that Teflon coating, whatever that coating is, you don't use anything that's um you don't use anything that's abrasive to that surface, because if you do anything of metal particularly, if you do, it's going to rub that surface off, and it's going to negate the whole purpose of having the surface there. And the surface is to keep things flowing like nice and easy, non-stick. You can scramble your egg and get it right and, flip it, and you're not going to have any egg crust and remnants on the pan because they have the non-stick coating. Well, somebody in the house either used a fork or they use some type of silver or whatever, or they baked and they did something to the pan. The pan has now damage to it, and food is caked up on it, and now you can't get it to work right, and now you got to use the scouring pad. But when you do it, you just can't go. You can't do that because you're going to risk messing up the whole coating on the pan. So you have to, you get what I'm saying, to do it right. It takes patience. Okay? This is where you at a place where your patience it's been tried over and over and over and over again, but you're trying to hold strong to it. What's coming in, or what's known to be true right now, what's going on right now, let's feel this one. Death. Salmonella. Look at the bugs that's rotting in this thing. Like I told you in the past, this relationship, this is something that should have been over a long time ago. This is the food that's in the back of your refrigerator that you forget about somehow. But then a couple of months later or a couple of weeks later, when you go to clean out your refrigerator, like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what? God damn, like, damn, what is this? You know what I mean? So you should have been thrown it away. And if you try to keep holding on to it and you eat this mayonnaise, you're going to get salmonella. And if you don't die, you're going to wish that you was dead, because salmonella ain't nothing to play with, sugar. Okay? So that's what this is where you are right now. You're realizing that, you know what, I give up. I don't know what to do. And you feel things changing, so you allow the universe to come in and take away, the reason why I'm doing this reading, to take away what needs to be taken out of your life, because it no longer serves you anymore. And you're wanting something more. Let's just look at this. This is what's going on subconsciously. Look at all this yellow and just happiness and light feelings and very airy, very loving, flowing type energy. Okay? Look what's going on right now. Stagnation, gloominess, literal death, decay, decomposition, You see what I'm saying? This thing is slowly rotting to death. That's what's going on right now. What's coming in the near future? Oh, and look here. It's telling you with the clock, with the timer. Y'all remember this timer when you had to take tests in school? They set the timer. But anyway, that was a side note. The timer's on 0. Time is up, boo. Let that shit ride. Going into the near future. And what I'm going to say with the near future, this could be anywhere from 2 weeks up until a month. It may be even for I feel like it could possibly be even 2 months. I feel like this energy like this, because this has been something that, like I said, it's been long standing. It's just coming to a head now. I still feel like people involved in this relationship um they may fight this death just a little bit because you're still trying to hold on. But coming up in the future, you have the Hierophant. Uh-oh. So what I feel with the Hierophant coming up in the future, in this near future event, is like, well, kind of like what I said, you will try to remain committed to this thing just a little bit longer, like you're resisting this transition, even though, excuse me, even though you feel that it's rotting. I feel like, but this is a thing with Virgos. I feel like that is something that y'all just naturally do anyway. Y'all really, y'all are earth signs, and y'all hold on to the very, very end. Y'all don't give up. Y'all are very, very relentless when it comes to relationships. So you're not gonna go out. You're not gonna go out without a fight. You know, you're gonna really try to keep this thing together, even though in the back of your mind you know that it may not even work. You know, to each his own. Everybody gets the lesson when they're getting the lesson. But I'm just here to tell you, for some of you, you may be fighting a losing battle. All right. Um, how you feeling about this situation? The Three of Pentacles. I feel like in this reading, you're trying to work. You're trying to keep a family situation, maybe children involved with this. Because I see the Three of Pentacles like a baby or something. Like you're repairing and you're working. You're looking at yourself like, what can I do to make this right? And I feel like they're looking at you too. You know, people are trying to see you. People are seeing you trying to make a change, and it's in all good efforts, but I just feel deep down inside that, you know, like, I'm gonna give it a go again, but I don't know. Maybe because you want this so bad that you're willing to do, you know, you want this and you want the love and feelings to come back again. You're willing to try it again. um and I feel like that's where this Lovers card is coming in. Like, it's like she's actually married to this dude. When I look at it, they look like they have on, I know you can't see it, but they both have on shades of gray, and she has on, to me, she just like they just got married or something. So to me, it's like you chose to be in this situation, and because, like, you're committed to it, you chose to be in it, and you're trying to ride it out. But again, I feel like there's a strong sense of unhappiness or sadness or dissatisfaction within this reading. For those of you who are making that transition and moving on, good for you. For those who are staying and want to give it a try, good for you. I can't say what you can and should not do. I'm just telling you what the cards say. Um, what's going on in and around you, in your environment? The Hangman. You don't know what the hell going on around you. Everything is changing. Okay? And I think that's part of the confusion. What leads to the confusion, excuse me, or the stagnation, because you're not really sure what is the right thing to do. So you're just going to go with what you know, and you're just going to leave it up to God. You're just going to hand it over. I'm going to hang it out to dry. You know, maybe if I Just be patient and wait. Things will happen. Things will turn around for me. Okay. As advice, Five of Wands. As an advice card, this is, I feel like this is telling you, for those who are choosing to stay, you're really going to have to understand who and what you're dealing with. And when I say who and what you're dealing with, I'm saying who you are, who they are, what you want, what they don't want, what you don't want, what you want the outcome to be, what, and I'm just throwing these things out. What are deal breakers, for absolute deal breakers for you, and what is required for you to stay? It could be some more, but those are the top things that I'm thinking thinking in my head. And they definitely, these questions that you need to be asking yourself need to be answered realistically, not what you want to not what you want to have happen, but what has actually happened right now. Okay, not what you would want, but what you want right now. And figure it out and put it in a list of priority. Write this stuff down. I had a good friend have me mention the five languages of love. For those who follow me on Instagram, and y'all please follow me on Instagram, I'm Jen the Butterfly _ Tarot. Anyway, for those who follow me, you saw that I posted my quiz results from the five languages of love, and it's based off a book by Gary Chapman. I've never read the book, but it talks about how do you like to be loved and how you like to give love. And shouts out to TJ, and I know she's not even Virgo, so she's probably not gonna watch this video, but she's the one who told me about it. And so I took the quiz, and the top thing for me that how I like to give love and how I like others to give love to me is acts of, I think it's acts of kindness or acts of whatever it's called. But you need to really be looking at that. Those are things that is pertinent to a relationship for you to learn how to love the person that you choose to love, because this is about choices. Okay. And how do you choose? What do you like? Acts of service. That's what it is. Acts of service. How do you like your love to be shown? So putting things in order, what you need from what you have to have. I get serious when I talk about this type of stuff. What you have to have in a relationship, and what is not so much important. Everything is important, but the I guess the acuity, I'm thinking health, the seriousness, or the most important, the pertinent, which one is more pertinent for you? Yeah, you have to have. And so I'm trying to get my words together. It's all about expectations, this relationship, because I feel like people have definitely failed each other and didn't come through. I feel like there's been a lot of struggle within this, mental struggles, even in conversation, learning, like trying to communicate with each other, trying to understand what the other person's outlook. That's another one. Where are we going to be within 5 years? I feel like a lot of this relationship, this is a going through the motion, just going through the motion. You see the wheel? I guess if she kind of, move a little bit, she might can get the little wheel going. She'll fall, but get the wheel going. There's no movement. There's no movement. So it's time to be asking those questions in this for this regarding this relationship, and take the time to assess what you really need out of relationship, and also look at, Is it, am I placing too much? What I feel is, am I placing too much responsibility on my partner? Am I looking for, these are questions that you can be asking yourself, or, they can be, you could be asking them to address within themselves. But are you placing too much responsibility on your partner? Are you looking for your partner to fill your cup of love? We have to fill our own cups, you know and maybe that's where some of this dissatisfaction is coming from. Are you loving yourself the way that you need to be loved, or are you looking for other people to do it? Because eventually she has so much to do. She has all of these little her little dusters, and she's trying to figure out which one to do first. And I feel like, you first things first is what it's telling you. You need to figure that out. Are you looking for them to supply something in you that you need to be supplying within yourself? um that is a good place to start, just to see where your head is at, because we have to get out of this thought that we have to look for this other person to supply everything in us. We have everything what we need within ourselves. We can love ourselves. We can feel confident. We can feel worthy about ourselves. We don't need anybody else to 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 determine that. Okay, because the moment that they can't do that, then you're back at square one again. Okay, so let's look at to see what the outcome, what's coming in towards the end of the month of March for Virgos. You're going to try to make it right. um and this is a balancing act. Okay, I feel like for some, what I feel with this reading, it's one of those readings where I feel like these are the emotions that's going to be playing out for the month of March. It I do feel like some of you guys are going to be moving though. I feel that, even though I don't see a lot of cards that say that, I feel that for a small percentage of you, you're just gonna say to hell with it. You're gonna take the other choice. For some of you, you're gonna ride out with your boo and do it. You're gonna be a rider, and you're gonna do it again. No judgment here. Now, I can also see it in some other ways as well. If this is just about a mental change, maybe this is you being more accountable for yourself, and that's why you're choosing to stay, because you're realizing here with the death card that, you know what, my shit don't smell like roses either. you know so it could be that type of situation as well, and that causes you to think like, okay, this could be a marriage thing. Some of you guys may decide that, this is what we want to do. But I do feel for strong, and you'll know who I'm talking to. Some of you out there just like, nah, ain't no way in hell, I'm not even trying to do that anymore. Others of y'all are going to, like I said, try it out. But you're going to try it out with a different type of mindset now, because I think you have a more committed mindset. You like, I'm gonna stay. Everybody has, especially growing up when you were little, grandma had that old big TV at the bottom. Didn't matter how many new TVs she got, the big TV, the old one that couldn't even cut on anymore, she still kept that one. She was committed to holding on to that that TV. And I feel like this is where you are right now. Yeah, it's an eyesore, but then you turn it into something else. It's either a TV stand for the new TVs, or she put some type of doily or cloth over it and decorate it, and you forget that it's a TV. So I just feel like for some of you, will be holding strong to it because you want this. You want it, but I feel like y'all just hit a rough patch. Some of y'all hit a straight, just horrible patch, and it's gonna be time to go. Now, this is you being committed to yourself, and trying to step out and stepping out on your own, um, building a firm foundation within yourself, because it is one person in this card, and feeling like you got it. The one thing that I would caution against, though, which is so different, which in this book, is, or in this deck is, look how they're standing. She's sitting on a four what is those mops? Yeah, the little scrub sponge mops, and she feeling like, yeah, okay, everything's good. The wind go, her ass falling down. Okay, so make sure that you're building a strong foundation. If you're choosing to stay, make sure you're building a strong foundation, because again, all you're going to be doing is building up something that could possibly fall again. And I feel like half of the relationships, there's a good chance that um things could work out. The other, not even half. I feel like 60, 65, yeah, 65% um will try it again because they want to go at it one more time. The other 35% gonna say the hell with it, and they're gonna walk forward, because I just feel like there was a lot of stress dealing with this. Now, this could be you, or this could be somebody feeling this way about their relationship with you, Virgo. But if you're reading or you're listening to this reading, and your mate is a Virgo sun, moon, and rising, please look at yourself as well. If you're trying to figure out what's going on with them, what I feel is that they're not saying anything. Virgos, y'all not voicing too much to your partner, but they can pick it up that something is wrong and something is going on in your head, but you're not really saying anything. If you're determined to stay in this relationship, you need to open up and talk, especially if this is your plan. Okay? To stay around, you need to open up. People need to know where you're coming from. Um, if you don't, if you're out of, you're not trying to stay around, you still need to communicate what your intentions are, but you need to get your plan together because time is running out. Okay? And if you're that miserable, you need to be moving on to something else that's going to make you happy. But yet and still, check yourself to make sure that you're not expecting too much of this other person. So let's go on to, I have a new card, Wisdom for Healing. And I'm sorry, y'all, if I go back and forth and say the same thing over. I don't know. My brain has been wacky lately, so whatever. Sorry. It's Wisdom for Healing cards by Caroline Miss or Mice. I don't know her name, but that's the cards. And I do feel like a lot of you guys are just stuck. I don't feel like anybody's gonna be making a definite choices. You're gonna be moving into the direction of what you're trying to do in March. I don't feel like there's gonna be a true binding commitment, a mental commitment. I'm not even talking about a legal ceremony, but a mental commitment. It won't be towards the end, towards the end of the month for a lot of them. For those who want to stay, I feel like you may need to hang out for a couple of weeks before you actually make that decision. So let's just see what can help you right now. All right, Virgo. First one, expect a miracle. It's kind of like the hangman, what I saw in the other one. It says, expect a miracle. Something will come into your life that will serve your healing. So be open to it and express your gratitude when it occurs. Your goal, to know that the world becomes a vessel for the divine when you see the divine in all things. It ties into what I said. Make sure that you're looking at yourself, because I feel like there'll be some miraculous things that you see when you start to look at yourself. You know, shield yourself off for a little bit from the negative thoughts and really focus on you. You know, there's a lot of reflective time that goes on under an umbrella, if you ask me. When you're in the midst of you know, not a heavy rain, but a steady rain, you're just kind of walking and you're concentrating and you're just looking around. And I feel like that's what it's telling you to do. Clear out the debris. Anything negative, anything that's no longer needed, any type of thought patterns about your mate, about yourself, about anything in the past, you need to let it go, especially if you're trying to stay in this thing and keep it working. Engage in, it says for today's lesson, engage in psychic cleansing. How much debris do you carry in your energy field? Debris is generated by irritation, stress, unfinished business, and mental and emotional toxins. It's distracting and disempowering to the healing process. Your goal to release unnecessary thoughts and emotions. That's what I talked about earlier. Sweep that shit out the door if that's not what you're doing. If you're trying to stay, there's no need to stay and want to keep blaming the person. If you're going to stay, you need to really try to make sure that this is what you have to have your mind already made up that I'm in this thing and I'm in it to win it, and we're going to wipe the slate clean and move forward. You know, you don't start over and start bringing up old stuff. Okay, if you want to do that, then you don't need to be with that person. So that's something to think about. Can you realistically get over the past pains or hurts that this person has caused you? um and can you get over any past pains and hurts that you caused to this person? So these are just things that you need to look at and take into consideration, Virgo. Again, you know, I'm not here to tell you yay, nay, or whatever. You know, everybody, there's a lesson in everything that we learn. And so this is just the lesson. Whatever you choose is not the right or wrong. It's just the answer that it's just the choice that you choose at that particular time. Only you're going to know later on in life it's going to be beneficial to you regardless. You're going to learn something regardless you stay or not. So be open to looking at this relationship from a very realistic and logical and practical way, like yourself. Look at it from that way. Take the rose colored glasses off and take an honest assessment of this relationship. If you feel like you can stay, cool, stay on it and give it all you got. If you still have some ambivalence about it, you need to walk out, because with this type of energy that this relationship, what I'm feeling, that this relationship has, either you're all in or you're all out. There is no in between. The time for in between is done. So just a little tidbit, my Virgo friends. Thank y'all so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and following me on Instagram. If you want a personal reading, hit me up. My information is in the description box. Thanks. Bye.